showing on the screen.
Eel pout, lawyer, Ling, but most commonly called burbot, is what we will be chasing today on Fish Quest. If a catfish, leopard frog, and an eel had a baby, I'm sure it would look something like a burbot. Many people think that burbot are ugly, that they have a face that only a mother could like. For me, they are one of the prettiest fish. Their skin is unmatched. In this episode, we will be traveling to Wyoming to compete in the Barge the Ling tournament. Now sit back and enjoy some guitar music while watching us freeze to death. The problem with burbot is that in several western states, they were introduced illegally and are now wreaking havoc on many desired game fish. It is actually illegal in Utah and Wyoming to release burbot alive. State laws mandate that burbot must be caught and killed immediately. But that's okay, because burbot taste amazing. Burbot are nicknamed poor man's lobster because when cooked, the taste resembles that of lobster. Because we fish for burbot at night, it is crucial that we have dependable LED lighting both inside the tent as well as headlamps. In my opinion, the best bait for a burbot is anything that glows and anything that puts off an oil slick or has some good smell to it. Whenever fishing at nighttime or an extreme cold temperature, the best thing you can have with you is an ice stop bobber. An ice stop bobber is a hollow reservoir that you fill with a non-toxic antifreeze that your line goes through, and what it will do is it will keep your line moving at nighttime when that ice hole freezes up to 2 inches thick. Even though it's not as important as the bait or the ice stop bobber, this LED light halfway up my pole is what I use to alert myself that I have a fish potentially on my line. Whenever the jawjacker pops, the pole goes up and the light turns on. You can see this thing up to a quarter mile away. In certain bodies of water, you are permitted to fish up to 6 poles per person. The only requirement is that you have your name fastened to your pole or setup. As the sun goes down, the fishing comes alive.
It's a good fighter. Yeah, it's a good one.
Any size?
Yeah, it's a good one.
Nice.
It's all tangled up.
Can we get him?
Yeah.
My friends up north in Canada and the northern states are probably laughing at us. The caliber and size of burbot that we catch out west aren't nearly as big as the heavy northerns. For us, anything over 30 inches means we're breaking out some high fives in the tent.
is a big one. That's the biggest I've ever caught.
I'll tell you how big it is here in a second. These fish are so hard to measure because he's just like a noodle. It's not
26.
They'll land flat like they do.
26.
Yeah, even. Honest 26. It's not a bad fish. I have caught plenty of burbot in my lifetime. Somehow this burb was lucky enough to be my first one that I've ever filmed. Check another one off my list. Species number 3. The rod holders that the poles are sitting in are called jaw jackers. Jaw jacker is a fancy term for an automatic hook setter that are highly effective at catching all species of fish while ice fishing. The only weakness that a jaw jacker really has is that if you get water on the trigger system, it will freeze up. Even though you've set your pole, what will happen is the trigger system will freeze solid and you'll have a fish down there biting, but your pole will never pop and you will never know you have a fish on until you reel your pole in. Whenever using jaw jackers in cold weather, it is crucial that you keep the trigger system as dry as possible. You catch a fish, pull the jaw jacker away to keep it safe. I'm not affiliated with Big Nasty Tackle in any way. However, I have to give them a shout out because of the quality and consistency of their product. The glow in the dark paint is extremely durable and will last up to 30 minutes on a single glow. The boys at Big Nasty Tackle have the science of catching burbs figured out. It would be a crime to come to the great state of Wyoming and not quote one of my favorite country music artists. Can you pay me back home in Wyoming, riding free 'neath the big sky above, free as the wind on the prairie, out in the hills that I love? I long to get back to Wyoming, and I've hoped all these years that I can. Please paint me back home on your canvas, paint me back in Wyoming again. Chris Ledoux. With the sunrise each morning, our bodies desire to lay down and rest, but we find ourselves taking all of our burbot into the barge to be counted and scanned by the Fish and Game Department to see if we caught any tagged fish. Here you can see Fish and Game scanning our fish for any tags. If we catch any tagged fish, we could potentially earn some prizes. The Wyoming Game and Fish Department is the organization moderating this event. They ask that each angler or each team cuts off the tail of each burbot so that the fish cannot be recounted. Wyoming is unlike any other place. I love how you'll be traveling through barren land one minute and then find yourself in one of God's paintings the next. Until next time.